The stars above Terra 2 were peaceful that night. The space station floated quietly in orbit, its lights blinking gently in the dark sky. Inside, everything was calm. Scientists worked. Guards stood watch. Families slept. In one quiet room, a baby girl named Mira slept in a small crib. Her skin was soft, her tiny hands curled up beside her face. She was only 6 months old, too young to know where she was, too innocent to know she was in danger. But Mira was not just any baby. She was the daughter of General Helena Voss, the highest-ranking military leader on Earth. Voss was a legend, known for her calm mind, sharp skills, and cold anger in battle. People respected her, some feared her. And she only had one weakness: her daughter. That weakness was about to be tested. At 0214 Earth Standard Time, the station's alarms began to scream. Red lights flashed. Security bots moved into place. Officers shouted into radios. But it was already too late. A silent team of shadow-like figures had broken through the outer defenses. They were fast, careful, and not human. Their armor glowed, faint blue. Their movements were smooth and silent. These were Qatari elites, soldiers from the Galactic Empire, the oldest and most powerful alien government in the galaxy. They came for one thing. Not documents, not weapons, just the baby. Mira was gone in under 2 minutes. The Empire left behind no message, no claim, no demand. Only a trace of energy from their ship, and a hole in the hearts of everyone who knew what had happened. When news reached Earth, people were shocked. But when it reached General Voss, she didn't speak. She didn't cry. She simply stood up, her eyes hard like ice, and left the war room. The president of the Earth Alliance called her on a secure line. "Helena," he said, his voice shaking slightly. "We need to handle this carefully. This could lead to—" She cut him off. "War," she said. "It already has." Across Earth, the military woke up. Secret bunkers opened. Old ships were pulled out of deep storage. AI war minds that hadn't spoken in decades came online. The whole world moved like a giant machine. Quiet, focused, ready. The Galactic Empire didn't expect a war. After all, it had stood for over 10,000 years. It ruled hundreds of planets. It had crushed rebellions, defeated advanced species, and swallowed small empires. It believed Earth was still young, still weak, still learning. They were wrong. 3 days after Mira's kidnapping, General Voss stood before the Earth Alliance Council. Behind her stood 4 of Earth's most powerful warships. Above them, satellites pointed at the stars. "This was not an accident," Voss said. "This was not a mistake. This was a message. They took a child to test our limits, to see how far we would go." No one spoke. She continued, "We will go all the way." With a wave of her hand, a live broadcast began. Across every screen on Earth and on human colonies throughout the solar system, Voss spoke directly to the people. "This is not just about one child," she said. "This is about our future. If we let them take one, they will take more. If we let them control our children, they will control our race. We will not be silent. We will not be scared. We will bring Mira home. And if we must burn stars to do it, we will." The speech became legend. Within a week, Earth declared total strategic war against the Galactic Empire. Other alien races were stunned. Some laughed, some grew nervous. No one had ever dared declare war on the Empire. Not openly. Not completely. But Earth did, and Earth meant it. In a hidden command room deep below the surface of Mars, engineers activated Project Red Veil, a stealth fleet made to disappear from sensors, move in shadows, and strike from nowhere. On Neptune's icy moon, scientists opened the Vault of Black Rain, a forbidden AI-controlled missile system that could think, learn, and hunt targets across entire solar systems. And on Earth itself, General Voss stood on the bridge of her personal ship, the Vengeance of Terra, and looked out at the stars. "Track their signal," she said. "Find every ship, every base, every lab. I want the people who touched my daughter. I want their names, their species, and their screams. The officer beside her hesitated. Ma'am, this might bring the Empire's full force. Voss turned to him. Her voice was calm. Then they'd better bring it all. Meanwhile, somewhere in deep space inside a cold, clean alien lab, little Mira blinked up at a bright blue light above her. The Qatari scientists didn't harm her. They watched her, measured her, scanned her mind. They didn't understand why her brain gave off strange signals. Signals no other human gave. They believed she was special. One whispered, "She might be the key to the singularity gate." Another said, "She's only human." But Mira's eyes shimmered with something they didn't expect. Something old. Something dangerous. She smiled. From Galactic Empire took a human baby girl. She was human general's daughter. Earth declared all-out war. Written in third person, basic English, around 1,000 words, completely violated, free and engaging. The first attack came without warning. Galactic Empire patrol ship, cruising near the borders of Sector 14, was sliced in half by a dark energy beam. No one knew where it came from. One moment, the ship was reporting calm conditions. The next moment it was gone, floating pieces in the void. 3 more Empire ships disappeared the same way. The Empire began to pay attention. Then a full communication relay station was destroyed. Not bombed, not invaded, just erased from space. The black hole gun used had never been seen before in the galaxy, but the humans had built it, quietly, secretly, just in case. Now they were using it. Earth's military had changed overnight. Before the war, the unified defense fleet was strong, but peaceful. It protected borders, helped colonies, and avoided unnecessary fights. But after Mira was taken, everything changed. General Helena Voss activated every hidden project Earth had kept in the shadows. Some of them had never been tested. Some were banned by human law. But Voss no longer cared. Her daughter was gone. The Empire had made it personal. On Jupiter's orbiting station, scientists released Project Echo Swarm, tiny AI drones that could sneak onto enemy ships, record data, and cause chaos from the inside. One drone was smaller than a nail, but it could shut down a cruiser. On Saturn's moon Titan, Earth's top minds launched quantum pulse cannons that bent time around their targets, making enemy ships move slow as ice, while human ships danced around them like lightning. And on every Earth colony, people stood ready, not just soldiers, but farmers, teachers, engineers. Everyone trained, everyone armed. Humanity was no longer waiting. Humanity was hunting. The Galactic Empire still didn't understand. They sent a message to Earth. "Return to peace. This is not worth war." General Voss replied. "Then return the child." The Empire refused. General Voss stood on the bridge of her flagship, Vengeance of Terra. The ship was larger than most cities, powered by twin star cores and protected by shield tech stolen from ancient alien ruins. It had no comfort, no soft places, only metal, weapons, and war. Voss wore her old black combat uniform. Her gray hair was tied back. Her face showed no emotion. Only fire burned in her eyes. "Status?" she asked. "3 Empire supply lines cut," said her officer. "We also captured a signal drone carrying command codes. They were careless." Voss nodded. "Good. Now we make them bleed." Earth's fleet launched full attacks on Empire-controlled planets near the border. They didn't kill civilians. They weren't monsters. But they destroyed every military base, every shipyard, every outpost. The Empire was shocked. In only 1 month, Earth had taken back 5 sectors. Alien governments across the galaxy began watching. Some were afraid. Some were impressed. Some whispered that the humans were becoming something dangerous. Not because they were cruel, but because they were unstoppable when hurt. No one had ever seen this side of humanity. Not like this. Back in the Empire's heartland, Emperor Zaltun sat on his golden throne. His face showed confusion and anger. Around him, his council of advisors argued. "They're just humans," shouted one. "Primitive, soft." Then explain how they destroyed 4 of our fleets. Another replied. Emperor Zaltun raised a hand. Silence followed. We took a child, he said slowly, and they answered with fire. They do not fight like us. They fight with feeling, with fury. We underestimated them. His science advisor stepped forward. There's more, my emperor. The child, Mira. She has something strange in her brain, a signal, a pattern we've never seen before. What kind of pattern? The emperor asked. The advisor hesitated. She may be more than human, a mutation, or evolution. The emperor leaned back. Then we must keep her. She may be useful. Far away, inside a deep Empire research lab hidden in an asteroid belt, baby Mira lay in a clear pod. The pod was warm, and soft music played to keep her calm. The Qatari scientists watched her day and night. She wasn't scared. She wasn't crying. She was watching. One of the scientists whispered to another, "She's aware, too aware." She looks right at me sometimes, another said, like she knows what I'm thinking. The lead scientist frowned. Her brainwaves match our technology. She connects to machines. Maybe she can control them. No one noticed the lights flicker for half a second. No one realized Mira was starting to learn. Back on Earth, General Voss stood in a private room. It was dark. In her hands was a small hollow device. A soft light glowed, showing an old video. Mira, laughing, holding her tiny hands toward the screen. Voss didn't smile, but her eyes grew softer. "I'm coming, baby," she whispered. "No matter what's in my way." Suddenly, her comms officer's voice came through her earpiece. "Ma'am, we have a lead. A captured Empire drone just gave us coordinates. High chance the child is on a world named Veraxis." Voss stood up. "Ready the fleet." Veraxis was a fortress world, covered in black mountains, shield domes, and Empire towers. No enemy had ever landed on it. No fleet had ever attacked it. It was believed to be untouchable, but Earth was coming and General Voss was leading the way. From Galactic Empire took a human baby girl. She was human general's daughter. Earth declared all-out war. Written in third person, basic English, around 1,000 words, and completely violated free and engaging. The planet Veraxis stood deep in the heart of the Galactic Empire. It was not beautiful. The skies were gray, the air thin, and the land filled with jagged black stone, but it was strong. Huge towers of metal rose like mountains. Defense shields covered every inch of sky. Deep below the ground were bunkers and labs, places built to never be found, never be touched. And inside one of those labs, Mira, the stolen human baby girl, was being studied. She was quiet most of the time. The Empire scientists believed she was just a baby, but something inside Mira was growing. She stared at the machines above her, as if she understood what they were. Her brain waves danced with strange energy. The machines around her responded, though the scientists didn't notice. Not yet. Back on the Imperial capital world, Emperor Zaltun sat with his advisors. The mood in the Grand Chamber was tense. Earth's forces had pushed deeper into Empire space. 12 star systems had already fallen. Human ships were everywhere. They didn't move like other fleets. They didn't follow old rules. They used strange tactics, tricks, traps, and new weapons never seen before. "What are they doing?" shouted an old general. "No one has ever dared enter this deep." "They don't care about cost," said another. "They don't care about loss, they just want the child." The Emperor's eyes narrowed. "Then let them come. Let them break themselves against Veraxis. No one breaches Veraxis, not even the humans." But deep down, the Emperor was not so sure. Earth had changed the rules of war. Instead of fighting head-on, the Unified Defense Fleet used speed, strategy, and surprise. Human pilots flew like artists. Their ships moved like shadows, fast and unpredictable. Earth's new AI systems could track enemy movement before it happened. Every battle was recorded, every mistake learned from. And every soldier fought as if their own family had been taken. They didn't just fight for victory. They fought for Mira and for revenge. General Helena Voss stood in her war room aboard the Vengeance of Terra. Her gray eyes stared at the 3D map in front of her. A red circle blinked over Veraxis. "All scans confirm?" she asked. Her science officer nodded. "Yes, ma'am. Signal traces match. The child is there, deep underground, surrounded by heavy defense." "What about the fleet?" 15 Empire warships guard the planet, dozens of orbital cannons, ground-based missile systems, and something else. "Something else?" she asked. The officer looked unsure. "We think they've built a gravity distortion field. It bends space around the planet. It might block our warp drives." Voss didn't flinch. "Then we go through it." "Ma'am, that's suicidal." "She's my daughter," Voss said quietly. Suicide was never the limit. Meanwhile, inside the hidden lab on Veraxis, 2 Qatari scientists stood over Mira's pod. "She's changing," one said, looking at the data. "She's adapting," the other replied. "Her mind, it's reaching out. She may be linking to technology without wires, just thought. That's impossible." "No, it's human." The pod lights blinked. Mira's eyes opened. For a moment, every screen in the room flickered. One scientist stared in shock. "Did she?" Suddenly, the alarm screamed. An Earth stealth drone had broken through the outer shield. It didn't attack. It didn't speak. It just recorded the lab's location and left. Earth now had the exact coordinates. The clock was ticking. The Empire tried to hide it. They told the galaxy they were in control, that Earth was desperate, that the war would end soon. But the truth was different. Rumors spread. Small alien governments began stepping back, quietly refusing to help the Empire. Traitors whispered of entire fleets destroyed by humans using ghost tech. Civilians on Empire planets looked to the sky with fear, and in secret places many aliens said the same words: "Do not anger the humans." Inside Earth's Central Command, Allied leaders from across the solar system met with General Voss. "This could start a galaxy-wide war," said one Martian official. "It already has," Voss replied. A scientist from Europa added, "We've confirmed that Mira is showing signs of tech symbiosis. If the Empire unlocks that, they could control everything, not just machines, entire networks, maybe even ships." "So she's not just a child?" asked someone. "No," Voss said. "She's the future and she's mine." 1 week later, Earth's full war fleet began to move, over 300 ships. Carriers, destroyers, stealth frigates, and dreadnoughts, all heading for Veraxis. At the front of the formation flew the Vengeance of Terra, black as night, with red lights glowing along its hull. On board, soldiers prepared in silence. No cheers, no loud speeches, just focus. They knew what this mission meant. Bring back Mira, or don't come back at all. As the fleet approached Veraxis, the gravity distortion field hit them. Ships shook, lights flickered. Smaller vessels spun out of formation. Voss stood firm. "Activate phase tunnel drive," her engineers responded. A hidden system powered up. One by one, the Earthships disappeared into glowing portals. Short range, jumps that bent space just enough to slip through. The Empire wasn't ready. The battle had begun. From Galactic Empire took a human baby girl. She was human general's daughter. Earth declared all-out war. Written in third person, basic English, around 1,000 words, and completely violated free and engaging. The silence of space was broken. Flashes of light appeared around the dark side of Veraxis, 1, 2, then hundreds. Earth's fleet had arrived through short-range phase tunnels, slipping past the Empire's gravity field. It was a move no one had expected. The Galactic Empire's sensors screamed too late. Ships shaped like sharp arrows and steel dragons emerged from the black. The unified defense fleet spread out like a storm cloud, fast and precise. At the center, flying like a knife aimed at the heart, was the Vengeance of Terra. Inside the command bridge, General Helena Voss gave her orders with calm fire. Activate Operation Starfire. At her command, Earth's plan moved into motion. Veraxis was not undefended. Orbiting the planet were 15 Empire warships, heavily armed, covered in shields, ready for war. Giant orbital cannons turned to face the human fleet. The sky lit up with missile trails and plasma beams, but Earth had come prepared. "Deploy Echo swarms," said Voss. Thousands of tiny AI drones launched from Earth's ships. Almost invisible, they flew like a cloud through space. They slipped into enemy ships, shut down engines, confused targeting systems, and turned friend against friend. Empire gunners shouted in panic. Screens went dark, doors locked, turrets spun out of control. It was chaos. Then came the real attack. Human ships charged forward, engines blazing. The Spearhead-class destroyers fired burst cannons that broke through the confused Empire lines. Stealth bombers uncloaked behind enemy cruisers and dropped pulse torpedoes that tore through armor like paper. "Strike hard," Voss ordered. No hesitation. The Empire tried to fight back, but their fleet was in disarray. Some ships were too damaged. Others couldn't tell who the enemy was. In just 20 minutes, 7 warships were destroyed, 2 surrendered. The rest retreated. The skies around Veraxis began to clear, but the hardest part was still ahead. On the surface of Veraxis, the alarms rang across every tower, every base, every lab. Enemy fleet has broken orbit, shields at 70%. Prepare for planetary assault. In the main defense tower, Commander Yeltor, a tall, silver-scaled Qatar, looked out the window and growled. "They made it through. Humans have no fear." A young officer whispered, "Do we evacuate the child?" "No," said Yeltor. "We keep her. She's our prize, our future. If they want her back, they'll have to take her from our hands." Deep underground, in Lab 7, Mira still lay inside the pod. The lights above her flickered again. A scientist leaned closer. "Strange, she's waking up." And then she smiled. General Voss stood before the landing team in the drop bay of her flagship. Hundreds of soldiers stood ready. They wore black exo-armor with glowing blue lines, each carrying advanced weapons and packs of survival gear. "Listen closely," Voss said. "Us." Her voice was calm but firm. "This is not just another mission. This is not just a raid. Down there is my daughter. But more than that, she is a symbol of our will. The Empire thought they could break us by taking her. They were wrong." She stepped forward. "We are not here to invade. We are here to bring her home. Every one of you is part of that mission. We go together. We fight together. We return together." The drop bay doors opened. Outside, fire and smoke filled the sky of Veraxis. Anti-air lasers crisscrossed the clouds. But the soldiers didn't flinch. They jumped. The human ground assault hit Veraxis like a hammer. Drop pods smashed into the rocky ground, releasing squads of trained soldiers. Each unit moved like a machine, clean, fast, and fearless. Targeted. Strikes disabled defense turrets, shield generators, and Empire barracks. Commander Yeltor barked orders. "Hold the labs. Stop them at all costs." But Earth's ground forces were unlike anything they had ever faced. From the shadows came hunter units, armored in light-bending suits, taking out guards before they even saw danger. From above came hover tanks, blasting holes through stone walls and enemy lines. Engineers hacked doors. Medics healed wounded without slowing down. All paths led to Lab 7. Mira, inside her pod, opened her eyes fully. She looked at the glass above her. She touched it with one small hand. The machines beeped once, then froze. The scientist monitoring her stepped back in shock. She shut it all down without touching anything. Another shouted, "Pull her out, we can't risk." But before he could finish, the lights blew out. The pod door hissed open. Smoke poured in from the hallway. Footsteps. And then the door burst open. Human soldiers rushed in. At their lead stood General Voss. Her armor was black with red trim, her eyes glowing under the visor. She raised her weapon, then saw her. "Mira," she breathed. The baby girl looked up, blinked, then reached out. Voss dropped her rifle and ran to the pod. She lifted Mira into her arms, holding her close for the first time in months. "You're safe now," she whispered. Behind her, her soldiers sealed the door. But outside, the Empire was not done. A massive energy wave shook the ground. The sky, above, turned gold and red. In orbit, a new Empire ship appeared, the Hammer of Ruin, a dreadnought the size of a small moon. Its cannons glowed, charging for a planet-wide blast. General Voss looked up at the comms feed. Her face turned cold. "Get us out of here," she said. "But ma'am, the ship, I'll deal with it." She turned to her team. "Secure Mira. Evac to drop point Delta 3. Go." She ran the other way, back toward the battlefield. As her team escaped, Voss found a launch station. She activated a defense satellite Earth had secretly placed in orbit weeks ago, the Starfire array. The satellite rose like a blade, targeting the Empire's dreadnought. One word from Voss was enough. Fire. A beam of light cut through space, hotter than the sun, faster than thought. It struck the dreadnought's core. The ship exploded in silence, broken into fire and ash. Cheers echoed across comms. Mira was safe. From Galactic Empire took a human baby girl. She was human general's daughter. Earth declared all-out war. Third person, simple English, around 1,000 words, violated free and engaging. The battle for Veraxis was over. For now, Earth's fleet retreated with Mira safely aboard the Vengeance of Terra. But the war was far from finished. The Empire was angry, humiliated, and determined to strike back. Inside the flagship's quiet medical bay, General Helena Voss held her daughter gently. Mira looked peaceful, but her eyes held a strange light, almost like she understood more than a baby should. Voss whispered softly, "You're safe now, Mira. We'll protect you no matter what." Mira smiled faintly, reaching out to touch Voss's face. A small pulse of energy hummed in the air. Voss blinked. What is she capable of? She wondered silently. Meanwhile, back on the Empire's homeworld, Emperor Zaltun's anger had turned into cold calculation. "We lost a dreadnought," he said, "but the child remains with them. We must find another way." His science council presented new data. Mira's brainwaves continued to evolve. She wasn't just a child, she was connected to technology in ways no one understood. "We must retrieve her before she grows stronger," said the lead scientist. "Or she could become the greatest weapon the galaxy has ever seen." The Emperor nodded slowly. "Prepare the Shadow Division. No one will know of their attack until it is too late." On Earth, the mood was tense. General Voss gathered her closest officers in the strategy room. "We struck a heavy blow," she said, "but the Empire will not give up. Their next move will be secret, deadly, and fast." Her tactical officer nodded. "Intelligence reports show unusual activity near the Orion Expanse, a perfect place for covert operations." "Then we send a team," Voss said. "Find out what the Empire is planning. We cannot let them take Mira again." A week later, a small elite squad of human soldiers and spies slipped into the Orion Expanse aboard a stealth cruiser. Captain Ryan Hale led the team, quiet, sharp, and experienced. His mission: find the Shadow Division and stop them before they struck. The Expanse was dark and dangerous. Strange energy storms flickered across space. Unknown ships moved silently between asteroids. Ryan's crew moved carefully, using every skill they had. Deep inside a hidden Empire base, the Shadow Division gathered. They were the best, skilled in stealth, sabotage, and assassination. Their leader, Commander Zira, was a cold and cunning Qatari who believed the Empire's future depended on controlling Mira. "We will take her back," Zira said, "and when we do, the humans will kneel." Captain Ryan's team found the base after days of searching. They watched from a distance as Empire ships loaded strange weapons, energy disruptors designed to disable Earth's technology. Ryan whispered, "This is worse than we thought. We need to act now." The humans launched a surprise strike. Fighting in narrow tunnels and shadowed corridors, they faced the Empire's elite forces. Ryan moved like a ghost, taking down enemies silently. His team worked in perfect coordination. After fierce fighting, they reached the main control room. There they discovered something terrifying: plans for a device called the Nullifier, capable of cutting Mira's connection to technology forever. Back On the vengeance of Terra, General Voss watched the reports with concern. The nullifier could destroy everything Mira can do, she said. We must protect her, no matter the cost. Meanwhile, Mira was growing stronger. She sat quietly, in a special chamber, her tiny fingers glowing with soft blue light. A technician watched in awe. Her powers are increasing every day. She can control machines just by thinking. Voss smiled sadly. She's more than my daughter. She's a force that could change the galaxy. But danger was close. The Empire's Shadow Division was preparing another attack, this time to capture Mira or destroy her. General Voss readied her forces. We fight to protect our future, she said, and we will never back down. From Galactic Empire took a human baby girl. She was human general's daughter. Earth declared all-out war. Third person, simple English. About 1,000 words, violated free and engaging. The calm before the storm was over. Deep in the heart of the galaxy, the stage was set for the last great battle. The Galactic Empire's Shadow Division was ready to strike at the vengeance of Terra. They wanted Mira, the human baby girl with power beyond any weapon. General Helena Voss knew this was the moment to fight or lose everything. The vengeance moved through the darkness of space. Its shields were strong, but the danger was greater than ever. The ship was a fortress, but even fortresses have walls. Voss stood on the bridge looking at the stars ahead. Her mind was focused, her heart heavy. Mira was safe in the medical bay, but she could sense the tension all around. Suddenly, alarms blared. Enemy ships approaching fast, shouted the radar officer. Battle stations, Voss commanded. The Shadow Division's fleet appeared, ships cloaked in dark energy, moving like shadows in the void. They attacked without warning. The battle was fierce and close. The Vengeance fired its weapons with deadly precision. Explosions lit up space like fireworks. The Shadow Division used every trick. Stealth fighters, EMP blasts, boarding pods. But the humans were ready. Inside the ship, soldiers rushed to defend. Engineers worked to keep systems running. Voss moved, from station to station, calm and strong. On the medical deck, Mira stirred. Her small hands glowed with blue energy. She reached out and touched the walls. Machines responded instantly. Power hummed in the air, a power that the Empire feared. Suddenly, the nullifier weapon fired. A pulse of dark energy swept through the ship, aiming to cut Mira's connection to technology. The lights flickered. Mira cried out. General Voss rushed to her daughter's side. "No!" she shouted. But Mira's eyes glowed brighter. The baby girl was fighting back. Her power surged, pushing through the dark pulse. The ship's systems responded to her will. Weapons recharged, shields strengthened. Mira was more than a child. She was a force of nature. In the chaos, Commander Zira led a boarding team onto the Vengeance. She moved like a shadow, silent and deadly. She was determined to capture Mira. Voss met her in the corridors. "Not today," Voss said. The two clashed, their fight fierce but quiet. Every move mattered. Finally, Voss's training won. She forced Zira back. The Shadow Division retreated. Outside, the battle raged on. The Vengeance fired its starfire array again. A beam of pure energy cut through the enemy fleet, breaking their formation. One by one, Shadow Division ships exploded, or fled. Victory was near. Back inside, Voss held Mira close. "She's safe," she whispered. Mira smiled, her eyes soft. The war was not over, but this battle was won. In the weeks that followed, peace talks began. The galaxy watched as Earth's courage changed everything. The Galactic Empire learned that even in the darkest places, hope could not be destroyed. And General Helena Voss? She stood as a symbol, a mother, a warrior, and a guardian of the future.